Hello, AfterBuzzers, and welcome to the Challenge After Show. And we have a treat for you because tonight we're going to see who's the better Ashley. Stay tuned.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Sometimes I've been feeling. I wish you guys could hear this.
Listen, I'll give you props. The song's kind of cool. It's got, I like it. I like it.
He introduced me to this song.
It's catchy.
He gets the credit.
What's the name?
Without you, I feel uneasy. Future's on it too.
He's trying to score a lot of points when he's here. What's that? He's trying to score a lot of points when he's here.
No, I'm like that all the time.
Well, if you haven't noticed, we've got guest Dario and Ashley K in the studio. So welcome back. Thank you for joining us. I'm your host, Paulina, and you can find me on Twitter at _Paulina Aguilar and on Instagram at Paulina M. Aguilar. And please be welcome my co-hosts.
Hey guys, it's Jenna, and you can find me on Twitter at Jenna_Bussiere.
What's up, guys? I'm back. My name is Michael Rippe. You can catch me on social media at Mike Rips.
Dario, where can they find you?
Dario.Medrano on IG, and as I said before, don't hit me on Twitter because I won't hit you.
Oh,
Ashley?
I don't tweet.
Yeah, well, I'm mostly on Instagram too, so Ashley Marie Dario is my Instagram.
All right, there you
go.
have it. Ashley, tonight's your episode. We've got
It is,
a lot.
it is.
We've
We
got
see
a
you.
lot to talk about.
I'm there if you didn't know.
she's on the show, guys.
Well, we've got a lot to talk about. Well, we finally got to see some footage of you guys in your relationship blossoming. So, is this the episode that you were talking about where we finally get to see a little bit?
Yeah, I think so. Camilla always says she is the one that made this all happen, which she kind of did because she originally, in our pool conversation that you see in the episode, decided to go skinny dipping.
With the nude bikinis. They're no
Which
they're
I would never
bikinis.
do
They're just
now.
nude ones.
Never do now.
Were you doing it for Dario? Maybe just like a little, or no?
Well, that's when she actually kind of put. This is where the editing comes into play. But she said to me, "Oh, what about Dario? He was asking me about you." I'm like, "Huh?" I'm like, "What?"
Which is weird because Camilla's cool. We're good friends, but we're not like. I don't think I'm her favorite person in the world, and she's not mine. So when I said that, I just said it. I didn't think that she would actually go back and tell her. So when she did, I was very thankful. And Camilla, if you're watching, thank you.
With flowers coming your way.
Oh,
She really
yeah,
wants
there you
flowers.
go.
The
I was
flowers
gonna
are coming
say
your
she
way.
should be your favorite person now. She made
She
this
is.
happen.
She's a good
so
girl.
we're
She's
all
cool.
thanking
She's cool.
Camilla.
Matchmaker.
Well, glad to see you guys are happy together. Let's roll into Roll with the Punches, which was this week's challenge, where you guys are paired up and you have to bear climb. It looks like this rotation. Did you have any idea what you were doing up there? Did anybody?
No, that's why we made Johnny and Laurel go first.
Well, Laurel did
Yeah, what they
extremely
picked,
well.
Extremely well, and she's very tall, and that really plays in her favor because as you watch, the guys did so much better than the girls because it was really hard, and everyone had different idea of how to go about it, and some's worked and mine didn't.
How did this challenge compare to other past challenges that you were in?
Well, I was never scared of heights above water because I'd never fallen and I'd never gotten hurt and nothing has ever happened to me, so I was like, oh, this will be okay. I haven't done it in a while, but I won't be too nervous. That's not really what happened. And I went with Darrell, which he was terrified. So the entire time I'm like, it's okay, you're gonna be all right. He's like, no, I'm not. I'm like, no, it'll be good. It'll be good. We'll be fine.
That's so surprising.
So you ended up going in an ambulance. What was actual? You hit the water really hard.
I don't really remember most of it. I don't remember hitting the water. I got a really bad concussion from it, which I didn't know at the time. I had a black eye. My whole face was bright red. Everyone was like, "Holy shit, you hit really hard." I don't remember any of it. So.
I ran after the ambulance and everything.
Did you? Hey! See, here I am being all gullible, believing him. Meanwhile, nothing.
Yeah. So, I think I just hit it right. And when you fall from that high, it's
hard.
It's like hitting the pavement.
Yeah.
So wherever you happen to hit, which was my face, which was probably the worst place I could, it just did some damage.
Right after you fell, you went to the hospital? Kind of walk us through exactly what happened.
I don't know.
You don't remember anything.
No, the producer, she had to tell me everything. And I guess from what she said to me, I had an ice pack on my face, and she kept telling me to put it down because she wanted to film, and I was just like, no, being really nice about it.
Yeah.
But I was like, I'm not. And she got mad because I was not listening to her. And then she had asked me kind of what was going on, and I said I didn't know. Like, I was like, I have no idea why my face even hurts right now. And she was like, oh, shit. And that's kind of when she knew. She put, like, 2 and 2 together. And, yeah. So I pretty much remember going to the challenge and then
leaving it.
That's it.
Ambulance.
Doing the challenge and blacking out.
After everything that you went through in this episode, if you came across the same challenge, would you be able to go into it doing it, or now after what happened, no?
No, I don't think so, because me and him went for a hike, literally a hike in Vegas, and I was like on, what were we, like 10 feet up? Yeah. Not even very high, and I was like, oh my gosh, I have anxiety, and that had never happened to me before. And so now I think I kind of have a little fear of heights, which sucks, but.
That's crazy.
It almost looked like TJ like said go, and she was like, I'm gonna die.
No, actually, it did not look that way. I thought, okay, I didn't know how I did or how I didn't do, and all I knew was what he was telling me. So I'm like expecting to just fall like immediately.
Yeah.
And that's all I knew. That did not happen.
You kind of went, yeah. You did.
Oh, I actually
No, she did. I'm just playing.
Because it did look a little immediate. That's what I was going to say. What was your strategy? Because it kind of looked like it started, and you may have just fallen off right away.
Well, I don't know if we really had strategy, guys.
Okay.
But what all 4 of us collectively decided to do, all of us, was to just all go forward at the same time. That was all I remember, is that we decided to do that going into it.
Oh, all 4 of you on the beam together?
Yeah,
so you were kind of working with your
forward and just go, and like that could have. Thinking about it now, that's probably the dumbest thing we could do. That's gonna make it go really fast.
And then you and Ashley pretty much just fell off. So
of all the girls that you had to go against, who would be your biggest competitor in that challenge?
Out of everybody?
Well, you would go against a rookie.
Oh, okay. So, knowing how it works, Jenna, because she's tall. I think she's the tallest on your team, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it played favor in someone that was tall because they could actually just kind of crawl. And if you were shorter, you couldn't really reach. You almost had to, like, jump. So.
Yeah. And she has the most seasoned underdog.
And
she's killed it in past challenges.
The difference between being, like, a vet, especially Darrell, he hasn't been back in years, is you don't remember what it feels like to be over water. Not suspended in, just kind of, like, chilling. And I didn't remember either. So once we were out there, we're like, holy shit, this is, like, higher than we thought. This is scarier than you think. And if you've been doing it for years, you kind of almost forget.
Hunter's a smaller guy. He lasted the entire time.
He did. He was a monkey.
I'm taller than Hunter, but I'm not as tall as the tallest guys. And I lasted up until maybe 30 seconds before it blew. Mm-hmm. So while height did give them an advantage, you could still get it done.
There's 10 different strategies you can use.
Yeah,
and
you can still get it done.
Yeah.
The size doesn't matter for this challenge.
Right. It helped them for sure because they were able to kind of like, you could touch all 4 beams if you were really
stretch, expand.
Yeah. Some of the guys were just like
I was crawling
like Gumby arms.
Crawling like a baby. Like each one.
That seemed like the way to do it though. You just had to do the little like bear crawl.
But people don't know. So, I don't
know.
No,
go on. No,
tell us what people don't know.
What people don't know is after that. So she went home. Even while she was going into elimination, she was putting like lotion on my back. I couldn't put my hands up because the pressure from hitting each one. What? Oh, yeah.
He's just trying to plug in the whole like lovey-dovey lotion rub.
Brothers out there, Hispanics out there, we got ashy skin. We need lotion.
Speak for yourself, bro. I don't.
Okay. Well. Anyone out there, be real. If you need lotion, I need lotion. Like my skin dries up. It's hot out here. We're in the valley.
I got you.
You know. But anyways, going to each one, it put so much pressure on my shoulders. I couldn't put my hands up for like 2 days. I could not put my hands up. I couldn't, bathroom. I don't gotta go there. But
that's kind of something with all
made
these
going to the
challenges.
bathroom difficult.
Everything.
Interesting.
Yeah, she was gone though. It sucked.
I couldn't help.
Oh, no
She's
more.
gone.
She's actually
I want to help.
Yeah.
Nurse Ashley.
Now you're like, Corey, can you put this lotion on my back, Corey?
Yeah, he did.
He did.
That's my guy.
That's your homie.
Now, what on your team, Ashley, was a whole... Johnny Bananas seemed to have tricked you guys when you guys had to pick a second group.
How does that happen?
I don't remember. I don't know any of this.
Oh, you weren't.
And even if she was, she probably would have been blacked out at this point.
I wasn't there, and I didn't. The thing about this episode too, in this whole challenge is I was gone from right after I got hurt to about almost 1 a.m. I didn't get back to the house. So I wasn't there for any politics. I wasn't there to see how it ended. I didn't know who won. I didn't know who got voted in. I knew nothing. I didn't even really remember how the game worked. So I was like, oh, someone's safe? Like, I had no
Was
clue.
tonight your first time seeing that back, or did they tell you afterwards when you got to the house?
People told me what was going on,
Okay.
but, like, I really didn't know. And I always knew from day one, even before I stepped foot on a plane to go there, that I was going in first. Because I was the underdog out of the girls.
Yeah.
And I knew
No
that.
one really knew you that
and
well.
I said that all the time. I knew it. So I kind of was ready for it.
Yeah.
Almost, you know?
How did you feel that MTV chose not to show you going to the hospital? They didn't really show that much of your injury. It just was like a little snippet.
I don't know. I mean, maybe because it didn't really matter. I think if I complained about it, if I was being like a baby about it, or made it into a bigger deal than what it was, or it was a big deal, but it wasn't made into one because I'm kind of like quiet about things.
Yeah.
Then it would have been maybe shown more. And to get hurt like that, I mean, I probably shouldn't have even gone into an elimination round. It probably wasn't that smart, like, health-wise, so they probably didn't want to.
And usually they're pretty good about that stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it was because I didn't make a huge deal out of it.
How much later was it from the hospital to the elimination?
Okay, so the hospital, I got home at 1 a.m. We went in the next day at what, like 4 in the afternoon? So it
That's
wasn't even like a full
crazy.
day. It
And
was
you
the
were-
next day.
Well, they asked her before, once they told her what she would be doing, they asked her,
they
like, are you
told
good with
Yeah, they
doing
asked me.
this?
And I was
That
like,
was nice.
I'm
I
not
mean,
gonna. First of all, I'm not gonna say no. I'm gonna. That's why I came here.
Yeah.
I came here to compete and win, and like I'm not gonna go home because I fell.
Right.
Like if it's that severe, but I also had never gotten hurt like that before in my life, so I didn't know what was good or bad, and if a doctor was like,
pretty face.
oh,
and if a
you
doctor's
know,
like,
scars
you're
and
good,
scratches.
I was like, I'm good, and I didn't really think about it.
Well,
Yeah.
we're glad that you're okay.
Oh my God,
You
that's
know-
crazy. We had no idea that you went through all of that.
Yeah, it was a little more intense, but it's okay.
Well, we're glad that you're okay.
Yeah.
Now, I want to say something because it got me so bitter when I saw this happen. After Amanda, I don't know if it's going to bug you like it bugs me when after Amanda,
Face.
because
What?
me and Mike always banter. So I'm waiting for a response.
It's like
and he
first
gives me a
take
lot of
debate
crap.
gonna happen right
As
now. I'll
after
just-
she
What's
was
happening
done
now?
competing on the rotation, she came back and she was laughing. Like as I grew up playing sports, I'd be pissed. I'd be like, I messed up. I should have done this. I should have done that. Did that bug you at all, or is that just me?
I feel like if it was more of an athletic competition, like if it was running endurance or
It
maybe
is
like
an
a
athletic
physical.
competition-
Yeah, but when you
competition.
get up on a rotating beam contraption like that, you kind of got to be like, all right, well, I've never done anything like that before in my life.
but
I
coordination, agility, endurance, it all plays into
I
it.
feel like once it happens,
Sounds
there's
like
not.
you want to be on the challenge.
I want to be on the challenge. I do. I think I
Somebody
can
get
kick
this
some
beam
butt.
going.
Sign me
No,
up.
yeah, I love
teach.
it too. I agree, but at the same time, I feel like once that competition starts, that challenge, it's like you don't know exactly what you're gonna do in that moment when you're propelled over water and you're just on beams that are rotating out of your control. I don't know. Was it as hard as it looked up there?
Yeah, it was really hard. I think just because I know from the first challenge, when it's not your elimination day, there's a sense of pressure that's taken off of you. I know that there's still money on the line to win for your team, but you almost forget that a little bit. That, like, you're just kind of, okay, well, I'm not going to go in elimination, so it's more lighthearted than competitive for some. Like, I
Okay.
don't think it's a bad thing that she did that. I don't think it means that she's not competitive.
Yeah, I mean, with these challenges, they're hard to prepare, right? It's all about
Yeah.
adapting. Like,
Right.
Everything you do is how quick can you adapt and how quick can you learn from others who've gone before you.
Right.
With
And
this,
they
it
were
was,
first.
Right,
Right.
with this, it was the same thing, but I mean, like
they went
Johnny's
first.
not that big. Like the guy just figures it out, right? It's that simple. Like he figures it out.
He's just done
So-
so
This
many.
is his
that, like,
career.
he's
Come
like,
on,
okay,
yeah.
now how
It's his
can I-
livelihood.
Right. I mean, but even Hunter. I mean, Hunter's never done it, and he was able to figure it out and
Yeah.
just go. So, I do agree with what you're saying. Like Hunter wasn't laughing. If Hunter would have fell, he wouldn't have laughed.
Right.
While this may not have been athletic, he took it a lot more serious than someone like Amanda. So I agree with that. I that didn't like come out to me, but I hear what you're saying. I agree with that.
I'm on your side right now.
Right?
Yeah.
I think just because one time I went to like the parkour class. Do you know what parkour is? Where you get to jump walls and all this
Oh,
stuff,
yeah.
right? And so I
Pissed
went
at
to a gym.
yourself?
No, I did
That
because
sounds a little
I did.
terrifying.
Is there
No,
video, is there
I
video
really
of
loved
this?
it. I'm sorry?
Is there video of this?
Can you show us a
I did
demonstration?
take
Like,
one.
where can
No,
you jump
no.
from here
If
to
you
here?
can, if you can at that part.
straight into that challenge.
It's not that far. It's not that far.
That's gonna be
no,
your
but
audition
the only,
tape for
well,
the
the
challenge.
only reason why I
Yes,
say is because I'm really
exactly.
competitive. So my dad had came to watch and observe because he didn't know what parkour was, and I did the same thing. I did a trick or whatever, and I laughed, and my dad was like, "Why are you laughing? You should be serious, and you're competitive, and what is wrong with you?" And so that's why it stood out to me.
Yeah.
Because
See, I laugh at everything. So I'm on the side because I literally could lose something and be like, well,
I see
something
that
wasn't
too.
on my.
I'm too competitive for that.
But also, she could be laughing it off because, you know, it was kind of maybe embarrassing. She wished she did better.
exactly.
Just try to brush it
It's
off.
her defense mechanism.
Also, James, can we get the live chat up there?
Yeah, we want to
Hey,
talk
we
to some
want to
peeps.
hear you guys. Would you be pissed or would you laugh? There we go.
Now, were you guys really surprised at Bananas and how good he did? For what would you have thrown him back in to do a second round? I know you weren't there, but
I didn't know. I don't think anybody at first knew how. I wasn't there to know when they didn't specify the rules like that at first to know who there was a second round was going to win. Do you know what I mean? Like in like a, I don't know. to be
Well,
honest.
because you guys had more, or I'm sorry, not you guys, the underdogs had more teams, had more players, so the champions, as a pair, would have to go twice. But it kind of makes sense, whatever guy went twice was definitely going to get the most time. I mean, that just makes sense. How
I
did
think
nobody...
Whoever did best should have gone again. Was that Johnny?
yeah, no, it was Bananas, but that also saved himself.
Unfortunately.
So
my
afterwards, the rest of the team had figured it out what he had done. So they were kind of like, "What did we
I don't
do,
think they were
and why
that
did we?"
surprised. that
Their
he-
faces, they were so
I think they
into
were more
it.
like, wow, he got us. Like,
Yeah,
that was
exactly.
more
How does he get you every time? I don't understand. How's he
He's
always
really
getting
good.
everyone?
He's
Words,
just been
man.
doing this for
Forever?
years. Yeah, it's
I
like
know,
his
but, like,
15th challenge or
how is he
something
still
like that.
getting
But
people?
you think after people seeing it over
Why?
and over again on TV, how are they
because
still
people
falling
they
for
haven't.
it?
Not only have they not done all these challenges, but they're
You gotta go in. Aren't you going in prepared
I
for
know,
like?
but what happens
think-
is money plays a huge factor, right? So you're getting paid weekly. You have a guaranteed. Well, I can't even talk about that. But look, the money. Yeah, I can't pay that.
I did not know that.
I can't talk about money. I get trouble.
You
But
guys are gonna get fired from
money,
the challenge.
money plays a huge factor into it, right? So if someone has a huge impact on the game, it has a huge impact on the amount of money you're gonna make. So if you're able to help him or allow him to do things, you think, well, I can make more money. But what happens is he allows you to help him, and then at one point, like, he just cuts you off.
So you kind of
takes
need
it all away.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
he did last season.
Unfortunately.
Money's everything. So
Now let's move forward to deliberation. Were you said that you had an
Were you
idea-
mentally
What?
there? She's
I
like,
wasn't
what's
even physically
deliberation?
there. I was mentally there.
Well, no, I meant like when they voted you in.
Oh, okay,
That's what I'm
so
talking about because you
I
had
really-
mentioned
okay,
that you
actually,
knew.
That's not true. When I came home from the hospital, immediately CT was waiting for me. Like sitting there in a chair waiting for me.
Oh.
Well, I don't know if it's a
Oh,
He's
yeah,
breathing
tell
heavy
that,
and everything.
Dario.
It was more like, okay, so who are you gonna vote in? Like it wasn't even.
Oh,
it
what?
was
Hi, how
crazy.
are
Didn't
you?
say, hey, you just
I mean,
came home
wasn't-
from the hospital.
It wasn't
How are
It
you?
wasn't the most amazing greeting, but I think he just really was. I mean, people get worried. You know, they want to know who you're gonna vote in. They want to make sure they're okay.
Strictly
And
business.
I knew right off the bat I knew from the second that I left. Like I'm like Darrell fell immediately. Like after me, I'm gonna just pick him. It's easy. Like whatever. We all have to go in. If you think about our game, we all have to go in at least once,
Right.
twice. If I would have had to go in twice if I had won that. Like Car's gonna have to go in again because that's the rules on our side. So I was like, just pick a day that you want to go in and fucking go in. And
Right.
if you
Yeah.
win, you're meant to stay. You know, that's kind of how I was thinking. So he had nothing to fear. He was like, Ashley, are you gonna pick me? I'm like, no, I'm not gonna pick you.
Well, like, Ashley.
I was
Wait,
like, I
Dario's from
swear.
Boston. You could probably do a better CT impersonation.
Ash, I gotta think of some funny words. Listen, no, you're not gonna put me in, right? Like I'm like your best fucking friend. I'm like your best friend.
Oh wow, that
I
really
love
sounds
CT,
like
you
it.
know,
That's pretty
like-
good.
Like I have, like even my tie with him, like through DM, I was never. I'm not gonna pick him. Like I was doing
He's a
everything
good
fair.
guy.
I'm a fair person. Like I'm not a politic kind of person. I'm not gonna sit there and be like, okay, well if you vote me and
Right.
this, that,
Like,
that's
just
not my
cut to
game.
it, whatever I
I'm not
need to
like
do.
that.
Okay.
So I said that, and then he had come to, and then Darrell had come to me too, and been like, so what's really going on? And to be honest with you, I didn't
He's
want
so
to vote
sweet.
either one of them. You know, I just
Darrell
I
walked
don't-
by the room, right? We were laying in bed. He walked by the room. He's like,
Yeah.
I'm like,
Everyone was concerned at who I was
So
gonna pick.
funny.
Because no one had talked to me
Like,
because
I
I was
don't know.
gone when they were all like having their talks about like who they were gonna put in or whatever. And so I didn't know, and I was like, I'm going in. He's like, no, you might not. I'm like, babe.
deliberation
Aw.
deliberation day. You didn't call him babe. Deliberation.
that.
He remembers the exact conversation.
Deliberation
There was no
days.
babe.
He probably knows it better than I.
Or when you have to vote people in, everyone's super hostile. Everyone's on edge. Everyone's trying to get in your face. Everyone it's just everything changes for that day. That's when it really sets in. Like you're in the challenge. Everything else is kind of like challenge, fun.
Yeah.
But when
Now-
people are going in,
That's when it gets serious.
That's it.
Now, are you the type of voters? Because I've always made this argument where they throw the friend card. Oh, I thought we were friends. Why would you say my name? And I see it as you've set that aside and you play the game, and we'll be friends outside the show.
Yeah,
Do
Camilla
you
kind of
guys-
did that.
I'm like that. Like I don't.
I was
Oh,
like,
no.
and it backfired. Because
right.
I dealt with that. So Corey was a good friend of mine, and
You did deal with that.
granted, if I was in individual voting, I would have voted different. But because I was a partner, that had something to do with it. I think you can help a friend out to a certain point, right? And then eventually you have to look up for yourself.
Always.
So as
though,
long
yeah.
as there's that communication there, and they know, then there shouldn't be any, bumps along the road.
That's
Looking
what
back on what I did,
alliances will get you to a certain point, and then you have to just recognize that it's a game and that it's nothing
Right.
against anybody. But if I win, you're not gonna win. If you win, I'm not gonna win.
Right.
It's
At
just
the
kinda
end of
how
the
it
day,
is.
it's a single person game no
Yeah.
matter what.
I think I could have went about it better when I voted a few seasons ago or last season, whatever it was. But it's a sticky situation. People take it super personal.
Yeah, it's a tough.
Oh,
game.
yeah.
It's tough.
You hear
Politics
your
are
name
hard.
and you're like, who?
Yeah.
I'm
Me?
coming for you again.
Me?
Yeah.
Why'd you pick me?
Why me? What did I
It's
ever
like when
do?
I said Sylvia's name, it was like, oh my god.
And
In fact,
oh,
a lot
yeah.
of people are saying in the live chat that you've grown up before our eyes.
He has. Pinch his cheeks. He's
Mike,
grown
I knew
up.
I liked you when I met you.
Butterfly.
I knew I liked you when I met you. Thanks for pointing that out.
Now, Ashley, were you surprised? You said it, that you knew that
I was
you were
never
one of the
surprised.
weakest ones.
I
But
was
everybody
never-
was saying
I don't
it.
think I was, because I think I'm very good at playing the, like I'm not dramatic. I'm not into the drama. I'm actually am physically strong. I am smart, and I think I have a lot of good attributes. So I don't think I'm necessarily the weakest. I don't think on our team anybody was weak. That's the thing. It was all tough people that are really good. Everyone had their strengths and their weaknesses, but to be the weakest, no, I don't necessarily.
What
believe
would
that.
you say is one of your weaknesses?
This is a job interview?
No, I want
What
to
are your
know.
strengths?
Well,
I
no,
think
like,
my last
she's on the camp. See, this is what I have to deal with every week.
Just saying.
Why are you back?
That
Go back to
came back to
wherever
you.
you were.
Yeah, Mike, come
No,
back.
that's just because you said everybody was strong and everyone had their weaknesses, and you are a champ.
Paulina,
Look
don't
back
worry.
at my
He hasn't
work
been here since
experience.
week
Oh,
one.
God.
Like, who does
I-
he think he is coming in
You know
and
what,
drilling you?
Mike?
So we're gonna look back at my work experience. One
Give me
challenge
your
on there.
resume.
Well, yeah,
My
right.
resume includes Battle of the Season.
I hate you so much.
I would say that lack of experience was my weakness because, to be honest, I had done one physical challenge before that, which was oil wrestling with Jasmine, who was like half my size. Okay, so yes, I was good at
But
that and I
crazy
did
at the
very
same
well,
time,
but
yeah.
that doesn't mean that I was necessarily good. So I was still like, okay, well, it's gonna be all physical for me. Like, am I gonna do well again? I kind of was proving to myself that I am stronger than I think again because I hadn't gotten to do it. Like, those girls have been in 10, 12, 14
Oh my
eliminations.
God.
Can you imagine going against someone you're like, and Cara, she, bless her soul, because she's like, I didn't want to tell you going into it. We're all friends too. Like, all of us girls got along really well. She's like, I had played that game and won multiple times.
Yeah.
So she already had experience, knew exactly what strategy to use, and
was-
she didn't want to psych me out, which is great. Like,
Yeah.
I love her for not doing that, because I probably would have been like, shit.
Yeah.
You know, but
But she has no
It's-
bad blood against you,
What-
so that was really
No,
nice
yeah,
of
it's
her to
very
go
sweet
about
of
it that
her.
way.
If you, looking back, if you could have chose who you could have gone against in that, who would you have chosen? That's right. Sorry.
it would have been a toss
Get him back.
up. I always thought I wouldn't. I always said, I'm like, I don't want to go against Floral. She's so
Huge
Oh, is she a beast?
everything.
I just don't think I can go against her. But I would say either Camilla or Cara. I didn't mind that I was going against Cara.
Okay.
And when I found out it was physical, I was amped because I couldn't
Were
remember
you?
shit and my brain was not working. I was like,
You're like, no puzzles, no
I know,
puzzles.
I
Oh
do
my God, could
anything,
you
I'm not gonna
imagine?
remember anything. I was like, I'm gonna do so terrible. So I was like, physical's perfect. I don't gotta think. I just gotta
Right.
do one thing, and that's whatever.
Let your muscles do the thinking.
on
I was
for
gonna
dear
say, what was
Hold
your
on for dear
reaction? What's up?
Hold on for dear
I was
life. That's
nervous.
what you
Hold on
gotta
for
do
dear
in
life,
that.
yeah.
I was
Before-
nervous because Cara's never lost, so that's intimidating to go against someone that you know has just won. She knows exactly what to do, and I knew I didn't have the experience, but I also was like, I had nothing to lose, so I was like, I'm just gonna do what I can, and hopefully that's enough.
Did you have a strategy going into it? Was it you were going to exert the energy and pull, or just kind of like let her?
I had no idea what I was doing. I was like, I just have to get this out of her hand somehow.
Well, you did really well for not having a strategy and having no idea. Like, you really held your own.
I know. Cara was like, shit. I cut her face open. I didn't know what to do.
Yeah, she had a cut. She was huffing and puffing after. Like, you.
Yeah, the
you
first
did a great
round
job.
was definitely a little. I definitely put up a fight. The second one, I was already tired. I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah, seeing stars with a concussion,
yeah,
maybe.
It was a little, I mean, I don't think the results would have been any different. They could have been. I don't know, but she's tough, and I don't think that really played an influence in the moment too. Man, I told you I scarfed down a whole plate of noodles.
Right.
Before that, I was like, I got a carb load.
Yeah, she said she didn't eat for 24 hours, or you tell us.
We ate lunch at the challenge. We always eat, and then they didn't get me food because we had a 5-hour drive to the hospital. Then I had to get a CAT scan, drive all the way back, no food that entire time. Then I was tired. I was just like laying in bed. He was like watching me basically not sleep because I really wasn't supposed to. And then I went all morning until like lunch, not eating. So then I was like, if I'm gonna go on this, I need to eat something. So I just ate a plate of noodles.
Carb load.
Speaking of the food, what do they serve you on the challenge? Like, what's the eating situation like?
It's different in every country. It kind of goes by what they eat. What did we eat? A lot of noodles and chicken.
It's catered food, so things vary from as far as
No?
I liked it. I mean, look, it's free food.
Like,
There's a
sure,
wide
I'll eat anything.
there's a wide assortment, as you heard.
Okay.
There's cold cuts.
Mm-hmm.
You get that. But yeah, things as far as like
Do you know what cold cuts
pastas,
are? Okay.
pastas,
Made to look at me like
rice, chicken. Like I've had houses when we lived in Turkey, and she wasn't at that.
Which was funny because my challenge was in Turkey, and then he had a challenge in Turkey.
It was terrible.
House,
it was the
at
worst.
different
food.
times.
So
Like,
Turkey, no good.
Turkey's
It
was
was
terrible.
really bad.
Mexico
Nutella
was
all
the
time.
best.
I was gonna say that has to be so
Great
good.
food.
Burritos. Just
This one wasn't bad.
It wasn't
bad.
that it was bad. It was just the same. It's the same thing.
It's the same
Yeah,
food, right?
so
It's the same
played
food. So
out.
you may not get it every day, but it's the same food.
I
But
brought all my own
it's
stuff.
free. There's a
Oh,
pool,
really?
and
You can
there's
do
booze.
that.
Oh yeah, CT sat
Adds
next to me
to
on the
Yeah,
plane there, and
come
he's
on.
like, "You're like a mom." I had a pillow for everyone, an extra blanket, I had food, I had meds, I had everything. I'm like,
That's so funny. Only your second one, but you were so prepared
so
with
prepared.
everything.
Well, DM always told me, she's like, bring everything, bring your own blender. I'm like, my own blender, I can't fit
Own
that in my
blender.
bag.
You know, you could pack all of that stuff in your suitcase. Is there a minimum?
Well,
I thought.
yeah, we're supposed to bring one suitcase.
Yeah, they look through all your stuff.
Yeah.
One
Again,
suitcase.
I
Any
don't want
size?
to get. I don't even know like legally
it's
what
supposed
I
to
can.
just, it's whatever you can bring like a regular airline. So if it has to be under 50.
You know what's
Oh,
funny
okay.
is you can't bring a cell phone, right? Obviously, no phones
Yeah.
on the show.
Yep.
And when we were in Thailand, we were on the way, and one of the producers was like, "Hey, look, if anyone has a phone, just give it to me now, and there'll be no problems."
Like trying to be
Right?
the, trying to be the cool teacher.
Yeah,
It's
and we're
not
all
gonna
sitting
happen.
down like, come on, who would have a
It's
phone?
Yeah,
technology
right.
fully-
This far, we're already in Thailand. We're like, who would have a phone? Next thing you know, Tony walks up with a phone and is like, "Here you go."
Didn't they have like it wasn't a blooper, but like a little like
The
spiel
stuff they should have
about
shown. Yeah, they had a
where
little.
everybody hid a cell phone and tried, and they ended up
They
finding
put them
it
in
all.
pillows. Yeah, they
They-
tried to
they-
go into
Funny.
great lengths.
They don't find you for 500. Let's just say that they hit
It's
you.
Oh my god!
Ay,
At
ay,
that point, don't even
ay.
do it.
It
I
was
know,
like,
it's not
here you go,
worth
take
it.
it all.
I think that
Take it all.
I don't know. It's
not
just
worth
the
it.
situation.
But you know
And
what?
If you had a baby
When
back
you-
home, a pregnant, like
when
I
you
wouldn't
don't have a
problem
phone,
wanting
That's
to.
very
When you don't have
true.
a phone, things get lost. Speaking of things that get lost, I gave Ashley my number at that elimination,
You
and
did.
she never texts me.
What?
Ooh.
I was gonna say. So we're.
You know what? I'm leaving.
How long when you left, when you were done rapping, was it right away? Did you
I
guys
can't.
talk?
I
and
don't want to say. We don't know.
Okay, well,
Well, a timeline.
Did you guys talk to
Give you
each
a
other while you were in the
timeline.
house?
we can't.
No.
Okay. But when she
You're
was,
right.
What can you say?
once he was back, it was
Okay.
immediately.
Yeah, she said, "Do you want to go to the Kanye West concert?" I'm like, "Are you paying?" She's like, "Yeah." I'm
Well,
like, "In."
what? That's a
In.
great first date.
I know. That's when I
Yeah.
knew she was real. I was,
No, that's not actually.
That's when.
He's still saying you're still on a trial.
yeah,
Ooh.
I call it. We gotta see if you're
Trying to
still
find out if you're a real one.
Take him
I'm
to
like,
an
okay.
what is it? A boogie? A
I
boogie.
called
There
it
you
J
go.
Boogie. I didn't
Take
J
him to a
Boogie.
boogie concert,
Oh,
and
it's
he'll
a
be
boogie.
very real.
Bronx in the house.
Oh Lord.
But yeah, no, it wasn't long, and it was immediate. But it was funny because, you know, as the show wraps up and I'm finishing up or whatever, I remember pulling out my phone and immediately looking for her number,
Aww.
and I didn't have her number. And I was like,
What do I do?
It was just for TV.
It's not like I can find her on Instagram
Through
or
the
Twitter or
DM.
something.
I'm like, she just used me. And she ended up writing me a note, but they weren't allowed to give it to me and all this other stuff. So
Seems a
it was a
little-
nice note. It was a nice note. It was cool.
You finally got it.
I did get it, but it was over at that point.
The Notebook.
He's like, eh.
The Notebook romance.
How long was your elimination? Because all those challenges were the classics, and usually they have a timer to see how long they go for.
Ours was
Do you know
just
how long?
3 rounds. Go for as long as you have to till it ends, and it wasn't that. What do you
The
think?
girls went by really
We
quick.
were
The
pretty
guys,
quick.
it
Guys
was a
lasted
little longer.
Couple
That
minutes,
looks so
seconds. What are we talking here?
Between guys and girls, or like
Both.
the duration of the elimination?
No, like how long were the guys? We're talking like each
We're-
round was like a minute, or
we're
we're
talking
talking
the
10
whole
minutes?
thing took like
Minutes,
25
Okay.
The whole thing.
total. Yeah.
That is pretty long.
Man.
You gotta wait around. Cameras gotta move things like that. But
And also, we didn't know. Like, we asked them if we could hold it like this, like switch grip. Right?
yeah,
And
Oh,
they
you
told
can't
us
take
no.
a hand off.
The guys
right?
Well,
kept
you had
on-
to hold on to it, and like we asked if we could hold on like this, and she said no. So me and Cara were holding both on the top, which is a lot harder to hold on to. You lose your grip
Uncomfortable.
quicker. And then the boys immediately just grabbed on like that, and I was like, okay, so like, the rule doesn't
Right,
apply to
yeah.
them.
They're
But
not
I
gonna
didn't
stop
care,
it
but it's
after
just,
they
like,
already-
funny.
positioning was a
Yeah.
big deal.
It was a big deal.
And they
That
kept
would make
looking at
such a
me,
difference.
they're like, how do you, like, how's that, like, Ashley's going, how do you feel? I'm like, I'm not gonna cry. I mean, the girl's competing,
He
like,
cried
it is
in
what
his
it is,
bed.
you know?
Yeah.
And then I really didn't know what to do, because at that point, mind you, I had slept with her every day, and she was in, not
Next
Not
to.
like that.
Next
Next
to.
to.
You
Slept
know what I
next
mean?
to.
She's in my bed every
Mom.
day. Like, you know, it's obvious that we have a connection and that things are going well. But when she went home, people were looking to see my reaction when she came and saw me after she lost. And I didn't know what to do. I'm like, well, I'm not a, what is it, PDA kind of guy, right? Public display
You're not
affection.
gonna make out with her in
Yeah,
front of everybody.
I'm not gonna like grab her and stuff. So I didn't know what
Ashley's
to do.
face.
It was like one of those stepbrother things, you know, Will Ferrell at the
No,
end of
you
Step
gave her
Brothers,
like
where
a
he's like,
side hug.
It's awkward, yeah.
No.
yeah, I just didn't know. I didn't want to be that guy. I knew she knew I liked her, but I didn't think I needed to show it in that manner, especially at that moment.
So then, did you leave with like a little bit of an awkwardness as a couple going
I thought
forward?
so.
Yeah.
Not awkwardness between me and her. I didn't like the way I said bye to her.
Right.
I felt like I didn't get to say enough, you know.
And that could sit with you in early stages when you're about to date somebody. Like, oh, that one moment, it was a really awkward
Especially
hug.
when you're in a house like that and you don't know how, like, if you're there till the end, you might be there for weeks longer and you're like, shit, she might not even remember me by then.
Right.
And that night she went home. The night she went home that she lost was the first night we got to go out. We went to the club, and I was sick. I couldn't lift my arms from the challenge, so I was just like,
No
not,
one knows.
yeah. I just wasn't in the mood for
Corey
this.
was rubbing lotion
I was,
on you.
yeah, I was
It's really weird when I laugh, guys.
I was sitting away, like, you know, away at the bar, and I remember the camera kept coming over, and I kept thinking to myself, they're trying to make it look like I'm depressed.
You're
because
depressed.
She's gone, and I'm just injured. I'm sick. I don't want to drink. And then a Thai guy came and slapped my butt, and it got really weird. But yeah, we won't go into that. In Thailand, there's a lot of those.
Just butt slapping happening, or
There's a lot of weird she-males, and things like that. and
nothing
whatever.
to make it bounce back like that.
Yeah.
I kind of want to know is part of the show, I guess, how much of it is scripted?
None. The
Great.
challenge-
answer.
Do they just push like
None.
storylines
don't
at
think-
you?
No.
None. They may ask you questions in your interviews to make you answer a certain way that they can use. Challenges are all they schedule that, but in terms of what we're doing and how we're acting, they never ever come in and say this, or you know what, say that again.
Never.
Everything is live.
Make a
everything is real.
fight, yeah.
Is
Cause
it the
drama.
same filming crew that you've had
For the
on
most
past
part. Yeah,
seasons?
I've had guys that I've been with since the start. But what happens is it may not be scripted, but what people have, you
It
know,
just-
veterans, people that have been on the show for a while know what to say
Yeah.
and when to say it, or what to do and what to say.
And
So
yeah.
it may not be scripted, but from my standpoint, a guy that's like over that shit, and I'm not like I was the first season. I know what they're doing,
Right.
and I'm just like, dude, come on.
Also, you're only seeing a fraction of footage because you can't. It would be like a 24-hour show if not
Yeah,
for like
that's true.
for
It
like
really
a year
would.
straight. So it's just hard to see. You know, they have to edit it a certain way to
We
make
had
you
a
guys
lot-
know
they-
storylines to make you understand what's happening. So I think in that way maybe, but not.
They didn't show
They
us
still
enough.
can't do anything that you didn't do.
Yeah.
That's when people are
Yeah,
like,
you
oh,
were
they made me
saying-
look bad. I'm like, well, they can't make you look any if you give them material.
Right.
Like, unfortunately there.
Yeah.
But they can still twist it up. I don't know.
No, they can twist it, but
I get what you're saying. Well,
Yeah.
they can only twist what you give them, but you can give them something and they can still twist it.
yeah, okay, you're right.
But there was
You win.
You're right.
Is that how the fights happen?
no. She's very smart and is usually like, "You're an idiot. Shut up."
And you say, okay, you're right.
But there was a lot of footage of me and her laying down or doing whatever, and you know,
Make it out.
I was gonna say disappointing
They didn't
again.
show any of that.
We
they
saw
didn't show
nothing.
it, which is fine. I'm okay with. I'm okay
Are you?
with. Yeah, I don't need everyone knowing.
Right.
I'm good. I'm good.
Behind closed
I
doors.
said that on Twitter. Shane tweeted me. Shout out to Shane, good guy. He mentioned, you know, great. That's how you show respect to your challenge girl. And I wrote back, not my challenge girl. How about my real girl? You know,
Yeah.
my real chick, my real lady right
Ma,
here. That's
don't
mine.
play yourself.
Oh, you like that?
So I asked you this last week.
Yeah.
Will we see you again after to kind of come back for redemption? Maybe win another.
Maybe. I can't say yes, I can't say no, because I don't really know. I mean, it depends, obviously, if you even get asked to do it.
Yeah.
And then timing in your life and what's going on. I don't believe in dropping everything if you have really good things happening, especially when we're happy and, like, if it has something to do with us, like, I wouldn't want it to affect that at all, so.
Would you guys do it together or separate?
So we don't know.
Right.
We always say that.
Mixed
we're like,
feelings, mixed feelings, but I think we could handle it. I think it'd be a
Yeah.
good experience, but
I think we do really well, too.
It's how you guys met, so.
yeah.
Well,
Could
no,
be
but,
good,
but
or-
I like your perspective on it. If there's good things happening right now, why
Why drop it?
drop it? Yeah,
Well,
exactly.
there's money involved.
No.
True.
That's true. There's a massive paycheck.
If it interrupts my
Money
hosting
doesn't
career,
mean nothing.
There it is.
Don't worry, plug yourself.
That's a great answer.
Right? Well, I mean, did we forget anything? Do you guys have any other? No?
How did
Nothing?
you guys
That's
are.
it? That's
I
it?
feel
There's
some
no-
tension
I'm-
here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good to see
They'll
you.
duke
Yeah.
it
It's good
out
to be back.
after the cameras are off.
Duke it out.
I was gonna
No?
say.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
No,
Jenna.
now that we saw your elimination, how did you feel looking back, watching yourself during the elimination? How did you feel after? Are you proud? Did you do better than you
She did
expected?
great.
What's your
I
reaction?
thought I did.
You
good.
did.
I thought I did good. I wasn't disappointed in my performance at all. I wanted to stay longer. Of course, who wouldn't want to? You get to have fun there and meet new people and win money. I mean, you get paid to be in Thailand. Shit.
Yeah,
You will
exactly.
dream of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So of course I'd want to stay, but I'm not upset on how things.
Are you happy with the way MTV portrayed you?
Yeah, they're always pretty good to me. But I mean,
That's
if
good.
you're.
Okay, here we
Not a
go.
lot- I feel
Here we
like
go.
not a lot
If you
of people
give
can
them
say
a
it.
reason, then they
That's
won't do it.
true. I think that's
I
totally
didn't-
true.
This old married couple already.
You butchered me on Bloodlines, okay? I didn't give them a reason, and they made me look like a
He's
jock
coming back.
I can't remember
fraternity
that far.
drunk, and I'm
But you
allergic to
didn't.
beer.
You didn't give them a reason.
No. We just came in hot-headed. That's it.
Okay, it was all editing. I'm
A
just
little bit.
messing
Editing
with
has
you.
to do
Don't
with a
worry,
lot.
I'm just kidding.
You guys are great.
No
So,
worries.
you're
But
right.
thank you guys for coming in. We love having you.
Thank
So you're
you.
more than welcome to come back.
Of course.
And we want you guys at home to come back as well. So stay tuned for next week. Where, again, can they find you on social media?
Just
Instagram.
Instagram. Just my name, Ashley Marie Kelsey.
Dario.Medrano. Slide in the DM if you're a female. Don't slide in.
Don't tweet him
He'll
either.
let you know though.
Don't tweet me or Facebook. Come on, grandparents are on
Just
there.
don't hit him up. Hit me up.
Only my grandma
I'll tell
says
you what
hi on
you need next.
That's
Facebook.
what I'm saying, right?
Mike, where can they find you?
You can find me on social media at Mike Rippe. I'll see you in like 3 more weeks.
Hey guys, you can find me on Twitter at Jenna_Bussiere.
And you guys can find me on Twitter at _Paulina Aguilar and on Instagram at Paulina M. Aguilar. And we will see you guys next week.
Woo! Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.